Street cred sports. I'm crossing over. I'm Euro stepping.
Hi, this is Keenan of Street Cred Sports Training, and welcome to another special edition. I'm not even gonna call this an episode, man. I had some things I wanted to discuss, so I decided to just get on. I'm with my guy, Chad Groth of AreaCodes basketball. He was up here with me doing a showcase, and we was just gonna talk a little bit about it. Plus, I had some questions on a few things, so don't mind us. We're trying to get a few words in before my first training, so you might hear some paper shuffling around, and you might also hear some crunching and eating. You know, with me, it's not all professional. We're not in front of a studio with a whole team of people. We just talking. So, without further ado, my man C, how you doing?
How's it going? Glad to be in El Paso.
I know.
Live in El Paso, Monday afternoon. Beautiful day. Man. Spent most of the morning following up on a recap of the event yesterday, El Paso Hidden 20, which we had a great group of student athletes, roughly 60 players. More for the high school level was this for, but we also inserted, had one 6th grader. Actually, it wasn't bad, but 7th and 8th graders, just to kind of help put El Paso on the map, because there's so many players here that go underexposed. I mean, so many players here go underexposed with exposure, and that is the key to what I'm trying to do.
Right.
You know, is give these student athletes their exposure to college coaches and other scouts like myself that do a scouting service nationally. Right. You know, some people say they're a scout and they just have a small reach, but they don't know any coaches, and I'm the opposite. I know coaches, and I get their information out to coaches in a email format, and which NCAA scouting services that are approved only can do. You can't give it verbally, or you're really not technically supposed to put it out. Basically, put it out on social media, their evaluations, due to the rules, because that would be favoring one school or another, because schools pay for the service. These universities pay for a scouting service. UTEP pays for scouting services.
Right. That
people who they trust in the business will be able to give them assessments on players fairly and all over, not just locally here. That's one thing people don't know. If a school subscribes to a scouting service, they're doing it because they believe in that person, and what they can do is get information on basically hidden talent, hidden players. And
right.
And this event I called the Hidden 20 I came up with years ago was because I did it in certain cities like Dallas and Houston and Vegas, Phoenix, that we just wanted a group of kids, starting off at 20 kids, that we wanted to have workout and play competitive games, and then send their information to coaches. And, you know, you get phone calls all the time from D2s and NAIs and junior colleges all the time looking for players, even prep schools. So you'll be surprised how many people see a player's name, even if they're mentioned on the internet. So, but I'm here to get EP on the map, give them visibility, watch these players develop over the years. This is the first year with the high school in years I've done. It might have been 10 years ago that I did a high school event out here.
Yeah.
I did quite a few in Albuquerque, but this is the market I see the growth being. I mean, so many players in Dallas and Houston, San Antonio, but, you know, El Paso's right there.
Right.
El Paso is the next upcoming city. As Phoenix was years ago, and now Phoenix is taking off. Since COVID, Phoenix has really taken off because a lot of people end up moving to the desert, you know, and there was time where basketball was stopped in California and in other places, and kids end up relocating. The parents end up moving for basketball or job purposes, or cost of living. And there's probably half a dozen prep schools, post-grad schools in Arizona that provide an opportunity. And I hear there could be one popping up in El Paso, but that's that is kind of under the radar right now. But don't be surprised within the next year if there is a prep school in El Paso. I kind of know about the plan. It's under the hat right now. But if that gets done, I could see this going nationally. I could see them going regionally. I don't know what their vision is yet, but I may be a consultant with them because just they needed some, information on how to gauge their squad. So, Keenan, thank you for having me on here. Act like I'm running the podcast. You got me doing all talking. Usually Keenan doing all talking.
He said, "Thank me." All right, thank you, man. I know, but I do.
And I don't drink either.
Yeah, so. I know. Somebody be like, "Yo, man, they over there getting full and loaded while they over there talking." Well,
wish I had a taco.
So, let's I guess delve into the showcase you did here over the weekend and what you saw. I know you've been anxious to kind of put some of that information out there, so I'll be quiet and let you tell the folks what you saw.
Man, like I said, we had a great group of student athletes, and I can kind of start off with the younger one, the middle school age prospects, rising freshmen. So they would be in 2027.
Yeah, please don't ask me.
And no,
because I don't. That's when all I know is freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I don't even know all about the what year.
with the upcoming, I'm not going to read everybody's name or just off the top of my head. Who stands out, and so obviously there was A.D. Owens. Mm-hmm. And AD's a very intriguing player, growing. He's probably 6'1", I think they list him as, but he's a 8th grader now, and don't know where he's going to high school. But I can tell you, he got an invite. We did give an invite as a showcase that we put on back in December to the Pangos Junior All-American Camp, which featured, I'd say, I think it was almost 200 players from across the country were invited to this camp and played in front of national scouts and media from all over. I mean, there were players from Boston, New York, Canada, Africa. So AD went out there and held his own. There was another player that came out there too, Harper Johnson. He's a 6th grader, believe it or not. He went out there and held his own. So those were the 2 kids from El Paso that got the invite. And AD right now, I would say prospect-wise, the best prospect in that 8th grade class.
Okay.
Then you have Carlos Puente. The first time we saw him was yesterday. He's at Nolan Richardson Middle School. I believe he's going to Chapin next year. But he's a 5'11" point guard who's got a nice game, and he could fight for that number 1 spot too. I mean, they're neck and neck, and we'll see what happens over the summer course and see how the development goes. But I like Carlos. He's a heck of a player, and if he keeps growing and developing, he's got a chance to play college basketball. Okay. So, he was very, very intriguing. And then Keandre Cage had Cager. I'm sorry. He had a cup.
For those of y'all who listening, Keandre Cager is the grandson of Willie Cager. Now, my last name is Cage. So there's always been confusion. People think we're related. We are like family. But continue.
Because I have called Keenan looking for Kareem. And I called Kareem and texted him thinking I was talking to Keenan. So yeah, it's So it's multitasking at sometimes is something else. But also, so Cager is a heck of a talent, and he's probably they're in nick and knack for 1, 2, and 3 in that class. So to watch over the next couple of years, and then you have Noah Williams.
Okay.
And Noah is another prospect out of the El Paso area, and Noah was co-MVP of my middle school Hidden 20 back in December. Him and at the time Jared Rodriguez also played it. I'm sorry, Jared Dominguez played in that. And Jared's another one that's he's right in there too with the mix of those guys too. Like I said, everything is going to change over the next couple years.
Yeah, and then I guess, because I know a lot of times when people are looking at this, they say, oh, well, this kid isn't as good as that kid. But I think the thing that people have to understand is, like, if their kid isn't in front of you, you can't make that determination. There could very well be some other talent that could be better than the ones that you noticed, but if they're not there for you to see them, that you're not able to do anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Carlos, for some reason or another, I don't know, but he didn't play in our Hidden 20. I wasn't able to see him. Therefore, I was unable to give him an invite to the Pangos Junior All-American Camp.
Right.
Now I've seen him. He's in my database, and we can watch him develop. And when there's these elite camps that are meaningful to help players in recruiting and rankings, there's only a few of them around the country, nationally. But you have to play in, so I say, satellite camps, because you got to know somebody to get in. So John Lucas has a great camp, but you got to have an invite. Luke does not give you an automatic invite. You got to be referred by somebody.
Right.
And John Lucas is one of the best. Pangos is one of the best. So that being said, now we can go on to the freshman class.
Yeah.
And the freshman, Sebastian, I might say his name wrong, Gutierrez. He's at Montwood High School.
Okay.
He's got the best upside I've seen of a lot of freshmen. So he's about 6'4", 6'5"-ish. Can shoot the ball, defend. He's got a lot of attributes to his game. I thought he was a senior. I said, well, you on side C? He said, no, I'm a freshman, coach. And I couldn't believe it. I said, you could play. I was thinking I was going to have to find a school for you right now, which wouldn't have been hard for him to do.
Right.
That just kind of tells you right there of his future if he keeps developing.
Right.
I believe he can play college basketball somewhere. And like I said, it's all development. It's all your ceiling. If you keep working, you got to work every day. You get with somebody like you, Keenan. Do one-on-one training. I just talked to another scout in Dallas, and he saw Keenan's facility. He says, man, this is perfect. These kids ought to be eating that up, And I said, oh, yeah, they do. They're here. I've come on numerous occasions here, and he's in the gym booked all day. So
right.
I know Keenan does well, very well, because he develops guys. And there's some kids that came to camp, and he kind of preps me on them, and I watch them, and exactly what he tells me is on point. And exactly what I say about them is on point with what we're on the same page, Right. But other kids were Trey Churchill. Trey was intriguing.
Oh,
he's
middle school, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, Trey's a freshman, I think.
No, Trey's 8th grade.
8th grader. Oh, his dad put him on here the wrong age.
Well, I guess he's going to be a freshman once. Yeah,
maybe
but
he might. Yeah, maybe.
No, but he's middle school.
Well,
right
well, he's ahead of the game already. So he's another one in the pack. I liked also. There were quite a few. Derek Gonzalez at Eastlake, and what's the other kid at? Troy Bunn was intriguing. Okay. Troy Bunn had a showing, but there's a lot of players that you're just, you were playing with that also shined. I mean, Jacob Garcia, Matthew Camarillo from El Dorado High School. Mm-hmm. He played his ass off. This kid can go. And he's going to be one that has a chance too over the next couple of years to be one of the better players in the city. Definitely. Oh, he already is, from what I know. Austin Bunn was another name. Austin from El Paso High, and I believe he's related to the other Bunn.
He's I believe he's an older brother. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these kids caught our eye, and like I said, we had kids from Eastwood, Israel Flores, and Ricardo Rodriguez from another one from El Paso High. Go over some of the names I can recall. Cool. Brandon Lucas from Eastlake is a guy I've seen a couple times on AU tournaments. He played with Gully, with the El Paso Titans, and Gully's brought teams to my events in Phoenix that I run a couple times a year. I have an Easter Classic coming up on April 7th and 8th, a Friday, Saturday. I know Gully's bringing 2 teams down. I will have other scouting services in the building. I will have college coaches, junior college coaches from Arizona, and they're already confirmed. So you'll have close to a dozen coaches in and out over the 2 days, NAI coaches. So I can guarantee you that's going to be a good one. I do it every year. This is my 15th year doing that. But Gully's bringing a team. El Paso Matrix, Bonafide, Latino Select. Those are all from the El Paso area. So I will see a lot of those players. Good that I saw them now because I'm ahead of the game.
Right.
So when they come, I can say, hey, watch the Titans. He's got some players.
Right.
Watch the Matrix. They got players. And Latino Select. Vicencio's going to find some players.
Yeah. So
Vicencio does a hell of a job over there. You know, I like this kid, Isaiah Thompson. He's got a chance to be a Division I prospect. And I hate to put that label early, but he's got a chance. Really played well. To me, he was unselfish yesterday. And he just played his game. But he's got great upside. I like big point guard, 6'2" point guard. He can run a little too, but he has a little juke to his game. You know, he's got athletic attributes. He can handle the ball. He's one that's going to be on the radar too. You got Sebastian in your freshman class. You got Thompson in your sophomore class, and heck, your eighth graders with Cager and Owens and Puente. I mean, you got some good ones coming up. And then, you know, your junior class, that could be interesting. You know, I would like to see more juniors, but, you know, for me, you know, Brandon Himes from Chapin played well. He's got a chance. He's 6'4", probably one of the most athletic players I've watched all of this year. I did a camp in Phoenix.
Right.
Over a month ago, and he could have mixed right with those guys being one of my top players. So he could lead that junior class. If you have one better, I don't know. But it kind of seems there's a kid, Brandon Karines. I might be saying his name wrong, but he's at Oregon Mountain. And he's about 6'4". He's a banger. You know, he's those typical guys you'll see in NAI or Division II, where he's going to find a way on that floor. He's a tough kid. You got Cam Gully. He's out of Andres. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. And then you got, you know, also over there, he's an unsigned senior, Jamal Williams. And Jamal's intriguing. He's very intriguing. He's one that I'm trying to find a spot for him to play. He's 6'1", but he plays at 6'6", you know. But I like his game. Yeah, the other unsigned senior was Caleb Carr. He's out of Las Cruces High School, 6'10", does a lot of things well, big body. His brother, I helped get into Grand Canyon, Isaiah Carr. So I'm very familiar with the family. He's one. Diego from Harmony Science, a 6'2" guard. He was very impressive yesterday. And I like the kid Coleman from Chapin. He showed a lot of flashes. he definitely can find a place to play college basketball somewhere. When I say that, it could be junior college, it could be NAIA, it could be Division II. Not everybody's going to go Division I. Not everybody's going to make the All-Star game, But you also got guys that also had flashes yesterday. Aiden Pacini, he's also Oregon Mountain High School prospect. And then you have another kid, Bynum from Oregon Mountain. He was great. Ross Sanchez from Harmony Science. He had flashes. I know he's unsigned senior as well. He's trying to find a landing spot. And then also I was impressed with Carlos Merez from Hanks and Luis Perez. He's also at Hanks, I believe. He was at Hanks as well. Arturo Sanchez. I mean, we had a pretty good group of seniors, and then the other point guard, I believe, was Elakar from Chapin.
Yeah.
Eli. They call him Eli.
Yeah,
he did well yesterday, and he's one to watch too. He's pretty quick. He just a great kid, and that's one thing about yesterday. The group of players we had yesterday were coachable. They listened. They just played with good sportsmanship. They played hard. They defended. And not just like how everybody just shared the ball and kind of got it. It's hard, especially when you have, like, let's say you have 100 kids in camp. Everybody's from somewhere different, and they have different mentalities. But these kids all seem like they have fun and play together. And I had a good time watching them. And I enjoyed watching them, and I'm excited to work on putting their names out there. So I told them anything them or the parents need, give me a call.
Yeah.
I'm open. Anything I can do to help a kid, I will.
Right.
So at the level that I believe they're in. So
right.
But it was hard. We picked an All-Star game, and not everybody made the All-Star game, but it was hard because we had coaches that were in the camp.
Right.
You were part of the selection committee, Keenan, and myself and Coach Aragon from the head coach and athletic director at Northern New Mexico.
I didn't do no damn selection. I was
trying to duck the bullet. You didn't give a name or two.
I didn't give a name or two because
I ain't gonna say you're lying, but I seen a name or two come off his head.
I tell you what, though.
Come on.
I was more trying to make sure that everything else was.
Oh running, no! Don't listen to him. If you were there, you saw him. You saw him.
I was doing my podcast. I had to go run and get something for the coaches to eat.
They don't want to hear about that anyway. Let's talk about things. So for these kids that are unsigned seniors, like I want to get to, it's hard. Let's say Division I. It's hard to find a landing spot right now with the transfer portal. You got 1,000 kids in the transfer portal. You got Division I kids going to Division II. You got Division I kids going to JUCO. I mean, where do you play?
So real quick, because I know we weren't going to make this one really long. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of tell people? I mean, we talk about it, and I know, but can you kind of explain to people what the transfer portal has done to recruiting, especially recruiting high school kids?
Well, it's knocked high school recruiting because now you're basically looking for experienced guys to win games. So if you're a coach at a Division I institution, and if you're on the hot seat, you got to win right away. You're not going to win with a 17, 18-year-old freshman majority of the time unless he's a top-ranked prospect or he's just a no-brainer, to take. So you want to go after guys that have experience. You want a junior college guy that plays at a high level. All right? You want a transfer from a Division II school that plays at a high level. And they go on to analytics. Some coaches go into that. Some coaches go into referrals from other people. But it's not easy, trust me. So Division I gets shut down. Division II and junior colleges, NEIs are the way to go. And if you go there, you can always play up. A lot of coaches talked to Argon about it yesterday. Do you allow your players, when they come in and they sign with you, if they're a qualifier and they would like to transfer up, and they go in there with that mentality, hey, coach, if I get something, are you okay with me leaving? So there's no animosity, there's no BS, right. There's an understanding. And he said, I'm for it, because he has a kid now. That's a Division I kid, and because of the portal at 6'10", matter of fact, he's at a Bella Vista High School in Phoenix. It's a prep school, but the kid has nothing right now. He's a qualifier. He's not going to waste time trying to wait all summer to find a school. Right. I'll go to an NAIA school where I have a chance to play. If I do well and the Division I coach contacts his, quote unquote, me somehow, or I feel I can go Division I, if I put up a double-double and help the team win games, I can go to the portal. And coach is okay with it. Right. If I don't get nothing, coach, I'm coming back. There you go. But it's just a difficult time right now. But junior colleges, there's plenty of JUCOs, there's Division IIIs. I mean, the portal has affected a lot of people. Don't give up on it.
So how do you because I have noticed in the past years, especially with COVID kind of threw things out of whack with people getting extra years and stuff, and now the transfer portal, and I believe the NCAA is doing some new rules regulation on it. So, it's going to change a little bit, but people are still going to be hitting that portal. What's your recommendation for kids, especially those coming out of high school, their senior year?
Well, my recommendation is you got to go where the chips fall. I mean, if you're not getting recruited sometimes, and if you can't get anything, you just go to school and roll out of school where you think you should go. I mean, if you want to go to UTEP and take classes, or EP Community College and play at a post-grad prep school, or if you just want to enroll and see what happens, I mean, they know who the players are. Right. You'll know if you're on the radar of a college coach. And if you're not, don't waste time. Right. I mean, there's kids, plenty of kids I've had that end up being firefighters and doctors and quite a few police officers, or they just find their niche. But don't count on basketball. Use basketball. Don't let it use you. Right. Use it to try to see how far you can go. And if not everybody makes it. Right.
I do try to tell parents and kids that, look, there's an end, because there's an end for college players. Once they finish their senior year, they're not going to play semi-pro or pro. Yeah. There's an end for high school. Once you finish high school, you're not going to be good enough to hit on the court, no matter what you think. It's obviously up to those schools. And if nobody's calling you, if you've been out and you've been seen by all these different programs, it's usually hard. And if you've been seen and you're not being recruited, that's usually an indication that, you might not be good enough to step on the college floor. So it's a conversation that I have to have with parents and kids, and it's often a difficult one, because we want to see all of these kids succeed, but they have to sometimes be realistic with where they're at.
Yeah, they do.
So
they do.
Okay, well,
we're gonna have to plan another one. I have so many people saying, hey, when are you gonna do another one here? And we'll have to figure it out, because now is the time a lot of kids go to AU teams. Right. So the next couple months, you'll have to find a circuit team that will allow you to play in the right events, right tournaments. Don't get bamboozled or BS by these teams saying they're sponsored here, they're this sponsored, or or whatnot. Because if they're sponsored, they're a fully sponsored team, or they're a shoe company sponsored affiliate team, then parents, you're not going to pay a dime. I'll give you an example. There's a Under Armour team in Phoenix, AZ Select, where their top team, is fully sponsored. They don't pay a dime. They travel. The kids travel at no cost, just like the Houston Hoops or JL3, which is John Lucas's team. I'm just naming Texas teams. But Drive Nation is an EYBL team. If those teams say they're sponsored, you're not paying a dime. So parents don't get into, we're getting charged this, but we're on the EYBL or Adidas Gold team. Well, Adidas Gold team isn't sponsored. They pay to play. So you just got to be more knowledgeable. And
it doesn't mean that if you're on a team that's, telling you that they're sponsored and you're paying, it doesn't mean they're not going to possibly play in good events. It just means you're just talking about the money side.
Right. Be careful knowing and be more knowledgeable.
Right.
Because you may or may not play in the right events.
Yeah.
These teams will say one thing and then they don't go out until, or they don't. In a live event, there's teams that charge that certain fee,
right,
$3,500, and they're not going to live period events because the coach may not be certified,
right,
or there's might be a little issue,
right. So that's a conversation. That's
a
whole other conversation. So we might have to just jot some stuff down and have some series of stuff where I bring you on, and obviously you don't need me on here. You just was talking and going on about your business, but I was loving it. You're getting out what you need to get out. I tell you, we're gonna go, but the man has his own algorithm, just like computers and Facebook and all of that stuff, facial recognition algorithm. He has his algorithms. But you might wonder what it's about, but I've been knowing him 12 plus years. I think probably more. And he's great at what he does. So I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm gonna go ahead and end it because I got to get ready to start my training.
Yeah, I got to give them my social media.
Oh, okay, yeah. How can they follow you?
You can follow me a couple ways. You can follow me on Twitter at AreaCodes. So it's Twitter is at AreaCodes, and Instagram is at AreaCodes Basketball, all one word.
Okay.
At AreaCodes Basketball on Instagram. Twitter at AreaCodes. So, and Keenan knows how to reach me if I can help anyone out or you have any
questions.
Good questions. Yeah, don't call me about this or that. No, I mean, this is what I do. I evaluate players, get kids in school, and do scouting service, which I do. It takes up a lot of time to do a report.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Houston tomorrow.
I know. I know. Look, he's been on my ass about this because I was initially supposed to go, but there are things that were beyond my control that was going to prevent me from doing it. But he's going up there for the Final Four to do what he does, and every year he sends me pictures, and as he's hanging out with these coaches and stuff and talking, and I always feel bad, but I'm on record as in saying next year in Phoenix I'm there. There.
He always says that.
No, but I'll be there, and I plan on hanging out with you in July during the July period in Vegas. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm saving my nickels right now and everything else because the missus gonna be coming and she's gonna be wanting to lose some money. So that's all the time we have, and I appreciate you on. We're gonna get it together again, and I'm gonna end it like I always do.
Hold on, and he didn't tell y'all he's missing another year of I'm hosting a college coaches social. So in case no one knows that. But I'm going to tell you. So it's I'm going to post it on my Instagram. Every year we do a party. It's not a party. It's a coaches social. Mm-hmm. So we invite college coaches from everywhere, and they come to our networking event. This year it's at a place connected to a golf course. So the coaches can do a 3-par golf. And for the gentlemen, we got complimentary beverages, drinks, and food and cigars for the coaches. So we draw hundreds of coaches. I'd say no more than 200 coaches attend. But every year it's big. This year, of course, in Houston, it's for coaches only. So that starts Thursday night. We do it Thursday night.
Giving all this information,
Yeah,
but they
they
can't
can't
show
go.
up.
But I might post some highlights from my.
Yeah,
you might see some coaches' pictures.
Yeah.
I'll post on my
Yeah.
IG or Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
So, but yeah, hey, I love El Paso. What a great city. People here are the best, and I'll be back.
All right. So, as always, when I end it, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. We out.
Street cred sports, say it with your chest. Yeah, yeah. Go get it from the net. Street cred sports, okay, that's a bet.